Tanzania has defended its record on press freedom, saying the government has never tried to stop journalists from doing their job. The country has faced accusations of suppressing media freedom ever since President John Magufuli took office in 2015. A number of newspapers have been suspended for criticizing the government. There have also been attacks against media houses and journalists. But Tanzania's Foreign Minister, Professor Pr Kabudi, told the BBC's Peter Okwoche that there is no evidence to support the allegations. They met at the Global Conference for Media Freedom.
The Tanzania government does not muzzle press, has never muzzled the press, and will never muzzle the press, because the Tanzania government, under Article 18 of the Constitution, enshrines the freedom of the press. And the press in Tanzania is free to operate, not only Tanzanian press, but also foreign-based press. The BBC is operating in Tanzania. They have a studio quite well. Deutsche Welle, Radio France International, Reuters, Bloomberg, the China General Television Network, the Voice of America, the CCTV, and many other local bureaus, including 226 newspapers, 158 radio stations, 34 TV stations, and actually with 34 is only one TV station which is government owned, 26 simulcasting radio, 6 simulcasting television, 6 online TVs, 91 online TVs, 6 online radios, 63 official news blog, 30 web blogs, and 2 online forums.
Since 2015, 5 newspapers and 2 radio stations have been closed down by this regime.
No single newspaper has been closed.
I am quoting the Tanzanian Editors Forum.
And let me tell you, the Editors Forum writes in Swahili, and most likely the translation was not the one you were saying.
This was written in English, sir.
No newspaper.
Professor, this was written in English.
I'm telling you, you read the English translation. You never read the original Swahili. Do you speak Swahili? Do you speak
I don't
Swahili?
have to speak Swahili to understand what's being written
now
in
listen
English.
to me, because you're interviewing me. I'm telling you, the only newspaper which has been closed down is the one which was supporting the government, known as Sunatekeleza, because of corruption. There are other newspapers, they were suspended. One of them for 7 days. But there is a newspaper known as Nipashe. Once they realized actually they have committed professional misconduct, they suspended themselves for 3 months. So no single newspaper has been banned. Yes, there have been suspensions, but suspensions are not arbitrary.
I said suspended. I specifically said
are not arbitrary, because under the
Professor, I specifically said suspended, not banned.
Yeah.
5 radio stations, 5 newspapers, and 2 radio stations.
They were
suspended.
Yes, they were suspended for a time, because when you say suspension, it was not ad infinitum. The suspension was for a time. Some of them 1 week.
Professor, I have to ask you the question about Azory Gwanda,
yes,
the investigative journalist who went missing after numerous reports that he'd given about the high rate of murder in parts of Tanzania. Where is he?
Let me tell you, when you refer to that matter, that was one of the most painful experiences that Tanzania went through. In the refugee area, it's not only Azory Gwanda, Azory, who has disappeared and died. More than 10 of our police were shot dead, callously. Most of the village leaders of Chama cha Mapinduzi, which is the ruling party in Tanzania, were killed in Rufiji. We thank God we have been able to contain that kind of extremism in Rufiji, which is now in northern Mozambique. And last week, 9 Tanzanians were killed in northern Mozambique. So Azory Gwanda is part of many other Tanzanians which have been killed in that area.
But I want to
and this is why the state...
has the state done enough? Has the state done enough to find out what happened to it?
The state is not only dealing with the Azory Gwanda. The state is dealing with all those who have unfortunately died and disappeared in Rufiji. Be Azory, of whom really it is very painful for someone who was doing his job to pass on. And I was a journalist, so I feel so. But our policemen who were killed by someone who we believe is a professional marksman, but more than 45 CCM leaders who were killed. And indeed, such actions, when they happen, they are not actions which the government is proud of. And I want to assure you, we are now taking every measure, not only in Rufiji, but in other areas of Tanzania, to make sure that our people are safe, be they journalists, be they police, be they ordinary citizens.
Tanzania's Foreign Minister, Professor Pr Kabudi.